Hello friends. If you hate writing code on TextPad or Notepad, or you hate using command prompt to compile your Java programs and run your Java programs, then trust me, you are not alone. But the point is, why should we go through all that pain when there are painkillers available? And by painkiller, I mean integrated development environments, or in short, IDEs. So in this video, let's first understand why IDEs are so important. After that, we will download and install the latest version of one of the most popular IDE, which is Eclipse, and then see how it works. Also, I have a quick tip for the beginners, so please do watch till the end. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Okay, first let's quickly understand what problems do we face if we choose not to use IDEs. Point number one, for development, when we are coding, we need different kind of softwares like a software for writing code, software for compiling and running our programs, and many more. And these softwares are generally scattered all around the system. So to work with them, we need to open and use these softwares individually. It's cumbersome because we need to switch between different windows, and sometimes that's really annoying. Another thing which we miss out is we don't get auto code completion or IntelliSense feature. This feature is a blessing for each and every developer, and not having it means you will have to remember all the class names and method names while writing our code. Trust me, not having this feature is a curse for each and every developer. Then we don't get syntax error highlighting feature, and that means that we will have to remember language syntax. Otherwise, we will only get to know these problems when we actually compile our code. Okay, the next one is a big one. We don't get code debugging feature. We write our code to the best of our capabilities, but sometimes there will be some issues with it. So bugs are kind of inevitable, and without debugging feature, fixing those issues will be almost next to impossible. Okay, now let's see what do we get from IDEs, and that's fairly simple. Everything what we just discussed, and even many more. So to summarize, all necessary tools in one software, which means that you don't have to switch between different windows, between different softwares to complete your work. Then we get auto completion feature, which will help you to write your code. We get the debugging and refactoring feature. Errors will be highlighted so you don't have to mug up the language syntax. And similarly, there are many more features. The overall goal and main benefit of an IDE is to improve the productivity of developers. And these IDEs often do that by reducing project setup time and by speeding up various development tasks. Okay, now that we know what are the benefits of an IDE, let's quickly see what is an Eclipse IDE. So Eclipse IDE is mostly famous for its Java IDE, but the fact is it does have IDEs for other programming languages as well, which includes C, C++, PHP, JavaScript, TypeScript, and even many more. Eclipse is mostly written in Java, and therefore it needs JDK as a prerequisite. Before installing Eclipse, we need to make sure that we have JDK installed on our system. If you want to learn step-by-step process of downloading and installing Java, I already have a video on it, so you can go and watch it. Eclipse is designed to be extended using plugins. Since its SDK is free and open source, anyone can add features to it or customize it with the help of plugins. Okay, that's enough of theory. Let's go ahead and download Eclipse now. But before that, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and click the bell icon also so that you won't miss any notifications. Let's go ahead and download Eclipse now. So for that, open a browser and in the Google search bar, type download Eclipse IDE. The very first link which you will get will be from eclipse.org. So open that link. and on the home page itself you should see the download button. So here we see download 64-bit. As this version of Eclipse is only available for 64-bit operating system, click on that. Now you see this download button, so click on it. This will start your download. Before that it will prompt to save the file, so click on save file, and now your download will actually start. So once download completes, then you can go to your download directory and start the installation process. Okay, here I am in my download directory. To start the installation, double click on the exe file. That should start your Eclipse installer. If you see here in this list, Eclipse provides IDE for different languages. So this is Java, this is Enterprise Java, then we have for C, C++, PHP, JavaScript. If I scroll further down, we have for Scout and Rust also. So for now we are interested in IDE for Java, so click on it. Here it says that JDK 1.8 and above is needed for this version of Eclipse. This is my current JDK installs, and then this is the installation folder. Let's keep everything else as default and click on install. Now my installation has started. We need to accept the license. Okay, it says now that installation completed successfully and I have my launch button ready to go. Here if you see, I do have shortcut created on my desktop and I can verify in my start menu as well. I should see an entry for Eclipse. Here we go, I do have it. So now we are ready to launch the Eclipse IDE. Okay, let's click on launch. It will launch my Eclipse IDE. Here we need to select the directory for our workspace. If you want to change, you can change it. Otherwise, let's keep the default. We can check this so that every time Eclipse opens, it will open with the default workspace. Click on launch and then it will open our IDE. So here if you see, we have shortcuts to create a Java project or to create a project and import projects. But for now, let's click on file, then new, and select Java project. Let's give our project a name and I will give Hello Eclipse. Let's keep everything else as default and click on next. Here we can review our Java settings. So this is the source directory where all our Java files will go, and this is the output directory where our class files will go. We can change it, but I'm not going to. So let's click on finish. Now it is asking to create a module info.java. This is specific to Java 9 and modularization concept, but in order to keep this simple, let's skip this. Now my project is created and here is my source directory. So now let's create a package for ourselves. Package is kind of container for the classes, so all our classes should go into a package, and that is the best practice. So let's give a name to our package. Click on finish and it will create a package. Now that we have created a package, let's create a Java class. So click on new class, then give class a name. Let's give it Hello Eclipse. I will check this so that it creates a main method for us. Then let's click on finish and now it should create a Java class with a main method in it. The font here looks pretty small, so I would like to increase the font. So to do that, let's go to Windows Preferences. In General, under Appearance, go to Colors and Fonts, and then here under Java, click on Java Editor text font, then on edit. Now here I can select whatever I want to, so I will select 14 and click on OK, apply, close it. This looks much better. So here I will just write a simple system.out.println statement, and then after that we will compile our program and run our program. Before doing anything else, let's save the file. And now we have to run it. So we have several options to run it. So one is we can right click here and go to run as, and then run as Java application. Another way is to directly right click on the editor itself, select run as Java application. Then the third option is we can click here on run. So for now, just right click, run as Java application. This will compile our program and run our program. Here we go. I have Eclipse IDE on my system now. So this is how we can execute our Java programs in Eclipse. Before we leave, I have a quick tip for the beginners. So while working on the IDE, if you happen to close these windows or views like Package Explorer by mistake, and you wonder how to get these back, so the trick is you have to go to Window and then click on Show View. Here you will get the list of views which you want. So you can click on any of them and you can get them back. So for example, if I go there again, I want my Package Explorer back. So I will click on Package, and here I got my Package Explorer back in my workspace. That's all in this video, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Also, please do subscribe to watch more. See you next time.